In today's lecture of Gati Education, we are going to learn a new subject which is known as software engineering. And in that subject, before going beneath into the subject, we need to understand what exactly a software is. Like, I believe till today you might be knowing the whatever thing you can touch is hardware and whatever you cannot in the computer system is software, right? No, it is not the reality, of course. So I have written a definition here which is my type of layman definition, which is just for your understanding purpose. So it says that software is a product or a vehicle to develop a product. That means software can be anything. Like using a software you can make a video, using a software you can edit a video, using a software you can develop something, right? So that is why, according to me, I say that software is a product. Either it can be a product which is made out of some tool, either using some software you are going to produce a product, right? Getting my point, what exactly a software can be. It can be a product or it can be a vehicle to produce a product. So that is a layman definition of software to understand it. Now getting more beneath it, that what exactly a software is. So the actual definition is this. It is a program, of course, that you might have learned this thing, that what is OS, right? What is OS? So in that you might have learned that OS is some multiple number of programs, right? OS is a software. So this is the particular definition, that it is a program that when executed provide desired features, functionality and performance. That means there are a number of programs which are going to run or get executed to get the desired functionality and performance and whatever you want or whatever the client wants. So as here in this subject we are going to focus upon software engineering. Like software is getting produced. So some client or customer might be there who might have their requirements and we are going to produce that, right? So according to that mindset only, in this whole subjects, each and every episode, we are going to have this mindset and understand every concept. Okay, so clear through layman language and through the definition what is software. Now as we know what is software, let us move forward to the evolving role of software. That means like we humans evolved now from monkeys to human beings, right? We have a chart that in 90s we were like this, in some century we were like this and then this and then this and then this. There's a chart from a monkey to a human being, right? So this is a chart of evolving role of a software. So first of all, in early years, right, in 18th or 19th century or something like that, right? So in early years there were batch. You might have learned about batch OS, right? So that batch orientation, limited distribution and customer softwares were there in the early years, and the year is 1950s to 1965. Such sort of softwares were available. Then comes the second era of software, in that multi-user software, real-time database based softwares and product softwares were available. It can the era was from mid 1960s to 1975. Thereafter came the third era. In that embedded systems came, embedded, where hardwares got involved and all. So that embedded system, low cost hardware. Now as embedded was involved, hardwares are involved. So low cost hardware, distributed systems were there in the third era, which was from 1975 to 1980. Then came the fourth era, that is powerful desktop systems, object-oriented technology, artificial neural networks, network computing, and so on. So such are the things we are right now also hearing about it. Artificial intelligence, neural networks, NLP and all. We still work upon it, and it is emerging technology as of now also, right? So this fourth era was from 1990 to 2000, but it was some good evolution from early years to fourth era that we are still into it. We still work on OOP, that is object oriented programming, which was just that technology was discovered here, right? So this is how our software has evolved from early years to here. So now, as we know about what is software, like that is the basic thing. Now let us move forward to the next topic, that is characteristics of software. There are few characteristics of software. Out of that, the first characteristic is software can be developed. It cannot be manufactured in a classical sense. That means if I talk about manufacturing a shoe, any shoe, the shoes we wear, right? Those shoes are manufactured. Like some sort of shape it is there and it is built according to that. But when we talk about a software, is there any predefined thing? Mold or something? The cake mold we have, right? Heart shaped, circle, square, whatever, right? Such a mold do we have about software? For any sort of software, do we have that? No. So that means a software cannot be manufactured. So this is the first characteristic, that a software cannot be manufactured. It is developed in thoroughly. It is developed in the classical sense. Now there are few understanding points for the understanding point of view, that high quality achieved through design. Whatever your design is, it is the thing, like the design suffers sometime. The software suffers sometime because of the design issues, right? So any sort of high quality, if you are assuming to have, you need to work on the design. There can be quality issues for any sort of hardware, but there cannot be quality issues for software when you are developing it thoroughly and properly. So this was the first characteristic. Now moving onwards to the second characteristic. So our next characteristic is software doesn't wear out. So any software never gets wear out. So here are two graphs, as you can see. One is, this is for hardware and this is regarding software. So as you can see, according to the time, the hardware wears out. The time is going and up, like through time it gets wear out. While we are talking about the software, it does not get wear out. A software cannot get wear out because it is never manufactured. It is developed. When we are talking about hardware, it wear out because of the environmental effect or anything. Like for example, previously I took the example of a shoe. So then I can say that a shoe is manufactured. I am wearing it. It may have some manufacturing defect also. It may have that. So that is why this thing is shown. That it may have some manufacturing defect, but once it is solved, that manufacturing defect, then it would be used steadily, any shoe. But due to wear and tear, as I am using it again and again or whatever, it is washed due to environmental effects or whatever, any hardware gets wear out. In technical terms, if we talk about your motherboard or any circuits or anything, it gets cored, na? Either here we are talking about any software. So as I told about the manufacturing effect in the hardware, right? So in software also there can be any defect, but once it is solved, it will go steadily. It will work steadily. Yes, of course, there are some new versions of any software. There might be some errors again and again. The life cycle is like that, but it won't wear out. This is the ideal curve, that failure rate decreases as time goes, but this is the actual curve, that there can be some errors and it can be solved again and again. Fine. Now when we talk about hardware and software, hardware gets wear out, but hardware is low maintenance. It is low maintenance, whereas any software is high maintenance, because we need to maintain that dignity of the software, right? If any error occurs, if any bugs are there, we need to again and again solve those errors, and through this way it will go steadily and work. Whereas any hardware does not need maintenance. Do you maintain your hard disk every month? No. So this is the second characteristic. This, and the third and the last characteristic of software is, although industry is moving towards component based construction, most software continues to be custom built. That means, as you are talking about manufacturing something, right? So when you manufacture something, you have some molds ready, or you have some if I talk about IC, then some circuits are drawn first and then they try to implement it. But when we are talking about our softwares, can we draw our software and then implement it? No, of course not. So it is like that, right? Our software are custom built, like it is not assembled, like using some components. We have not assembled it like some ICs or anything. We are making it, like customization has to be done according to us, according to the requirement, we make it. So that is the last characteristic of software. Now we will move forward to the next topic, that is difference between the hardware and software. Like when I was explaining the characteristic, I have explained the difference in both of them, but still I'll just write them out and explain it once. So in the last topic we discussed about the characteristics of software. I forgot to mention that according to exam point of view, these characteristics of software are important. Now let us move forward to the difference between hardware and software. Right? I have already explained it in detail, so I'll just go through the points now. Fine? The number one point is, it can be manufactured, like hardware can be manufactured. In the last point of the characteristic I discussed that only, that hardware can be manufactured and software can be developed by engineers, right? We engineers develop software. Then next is quality issues. When we are talk about hardware or some ICs or anything, any chip or anything we talk about, when there's cost difference or anything, there are quality issues, right? We go for good quality products only. So when we talk about hardware, there are some quality issues. But when we talk about software, can you like find the difference between the software's quality? No, there is no quality issue. Then third is, environment affects hardware. Yes, environment affects hardware. It corrodes it, rust हो जाती है चीजें, right? And while software, no effect. Then next is spare parts are present. Spare parts are present in hardware. Software does not have any sort of spare parts. Then next is assemble from component. Hardware needs to be assembled one by one. Any circuit needs to be attached. Any chip needs to be placed sometimes. So it needs to be assembled. While software, it is custom built. We build it according to the requirement. There is no assemblement. Then next is hardware wears out and software cannot wear out. So this much for today. In today's lecture, we have learned what is software. Thereafter, we went through the evolving role of software, then characteristics of software, which is important according to the exam point of view, and then difference between hardware and software. So if you want to note it down, please. Much for today's video. And if you like the video, learned something out of it, please do like it. And if you like my content, do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for such good videos to understand the concept and the subject. Till then, bye bye. Stay safe, keep learning. We'll meet in the next video.